You are live.
We are live.
It's showtime.
From Beetlejuice.
Yep.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
People have to say our name 3 times fast. No, it's not fast, just 3 times.
Yeah,
We'll appear.
and bad things will happen. Oh, there we go. Mine's finally caught up. Oh, right as I'm bugging my eye.
Oh.
Yeah, because see, look at we're doing a little digression here for a second, but the little internet thingy up in the corner there. It's weird. Anyway, Hello, Twin Brooks. How are you doing? Yeah.
Well, we can't get much closer to the router. Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll just leave it.
We just noticed in the top of our StreamYard, there's a little internet logo that says our connection is dodgy. So hopefully it's an okay live tonight. But
yeah, hopefully it goes all right.
Yeah.
We're literally sitting like 4 feet from the router, so it shouldn't be
Hey, Amby.
Hello. How are you guys tonight? We're okay tonight.
We're okay tonight. It's been a little bit of a rough evening, but anyways, we're glad to be on the live because then it's like all smiley and happy and no more just conversation between us that gets negative.
Oh, we're not that negative.
No, we're not that negative, but anyways, yeah. So
discussing.
Yeah,
things.
Just discussing plans and spring and maybe changes or maybe not changes. Who knows? Feel like ducks wading in the mud. That's the usual situation.
Spring
after the big melt and the ducks make a big mess in the mud.
Spring mud season.
Yeah.
Ours is coming. It was what was
today
it?
was
plus 2, plus 3?
Plus 3, I think. It was sort of snowing, but then sort of rain snowing. And then when I went outside this afternoon, it was that horrible melt where you sunk through the, where you made all your pathways and you just, instead of shoveling, because we're lazy, we just packed down the grass, the snow as we walk. And it had melted enough today that you were doing that horrible fall through the snow. Oh, so anyways.
Hello, Drops.
Hey, Drops. That's it exactly, Twin Brooks. Uh-oh, turn on the camera and smile. That's right. Yeah. We didn't have that big of issues today. It was just we have a bit of a dilemma with one of our rams, and he's become a bit of a jerk. So we have to figure out what we're doing about it.
Well, we know what we're doing about it.
Well, we know what we're doing about it. It just wasn't planned.
We just have to make it to the weekend.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
But anyways, he managed to, he toasted a stall in the barn. And so we moved him to a new stall and figured we'd figured it out. And then he knocked the wall down, or pretty much between stalls. So
we didn't knock it down.
No, but yeah. Anyways.
This is like a continuation of the ever-evolving discussion around abattoirs and getting things processed and booking dates and everything. And I don't know, the more and more we mull things over and the more and more things change sort of on the scene, the more and more it's like, if you can't do it yourself, that's from a homesteading perspective, if you can't do all aspects of it yourself, maybe it's not a good idea. I mean, whether that's the physical aspect of physically being able to do it or whatever. But,
well, this is it, because now we have a ram that realistically we would like to get butchered. He's causing a lot of problems, but you're basically a year off from getting a butcher date. So
but on a ram, he's small enough. Well, he's a young ram, but we wouldn't mind getting your recipe actually. Drops.
Yeah,
we'd probably find some portion of them to use the recipe on when we get them all done up. But
yeah. He's definitely going towards the recipe.
It's decided. We had decided it already.
When he wrecked the first stall, we had made the decision, but we were going to wait until we knew we had babies out of him and see. And
it's that balance. We purchased him, so he wasn't one we bred ourselves. But so we bought them this year because we needed a different ram.
We needed genetics.
We have another one that we use too, but we still needed a different one. So we've got his cost to purchase, and we've used him, but he's kind of always had not a bad attitude per se, just pushy, and you kind of know early on that they're not going to be staying.
Yeah, he's not a friendly ram.
That's the disadvantage of having any kind of livestock that if you're going to breed them, I should say that way. If you have livestock that you're going to breed, that's the disadvantage if you can't keep the whole population.
Hey, Thorhaven. Well, we just dove right into deep discussion on this one. There wasn't even any preliminary light chat. It was like, bam, right into it.
Yep, right in.
Right in. Hi, Tina Ladybug. And I'm going to get this all wrong. Film Simple.
We're probably saying Texas. That wrong.
We're probably saying it completely wrong. Yeah. Hi, Hitcha Chick. Good to see you.
We do like the sheep, Thorhaven. They're kind of one of those. No, sorry.
He missed the beginning of this live where we discussed about what happened today.
We can go back into it, but I should actually rephrase that. We enjoy having them for the products they produce. I don't know if I would say they're the most enjoyable animal to have. You could tell about your experience last weekend with the sheep.
We were basically moving the girls all back together. We did a little video on their skirmish.
Right before that.
But right before that, I got dragged across the yard. It was slippery and horrible. And of course, you're trying to move a 250-pound sheep that doesn't want to anyway.
She decided she was going one way.
And I went the other. In all fairness, though, I think I may have had a dislocated arm before that because since then my arm's been all better. So she's, helped me out. But but no, we were just saying about we had some kind of not negative discussion, but deep discussion before our live tonight about what to do about our one ram because he's become problematic.
Well, and we know what the answer is.
Yeah.
It's just it kind of brings up the discussion point of even 2 years ago, it wasn't a big deal to sort of look at things from that. This kind of goes into our economic stuff too, but that point of looking at like you're raising X number, you could sort of get a few of them processed to help cover their costs, etc. But now with the butcher dates stuff going the way it's going, it's like you can't.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of we're in the process of this. For anybody that has watched any of the videos that we've done so far on the economics, we've got one more coming, and the whole point is to sort of show that, I guess, sort of shift. We've never been of the mindset of trying to do any of this sort of on a commercial scale.
Hi, Indiana Backyard Gardener.
But it's that shift of like, all right, we need to look at this more of if we have to do all aspects of it to make it work.
Yeah. Well, basically,
where the sheep are nice because they're small enough. Without being around the bush, we can do the butchering. We can.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need any big specialized equipment, etc. But that kind of brings us to the cows.
Yeah. Hey, Gail.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, anyways, we're not going to go. This is a positive chat about plans for spring and whatnot. It was just a little bit of a bumpy patch before our life. But no, the Texas, you asked about it. Was it getting warmer there? I'm thinking yes. Yes, he said, yeah. It's kind of cool. Thank you for popping in from Texas. That's awesome.
Great.
Hi, CB. Where are we at here? I said
if we miss anybody,
I'm trying not to miss anybody.
Trying to keep up with the chat better tonight than we have. But so if we do,
we say that and then it doesn't.
We say that and then we'll go off on some tangent. That's okay.
Yeah.
But
so we whose live were we in a minute ago? Did you get a cow? And I apologize if I have missed this video, but whose live were we just in where it sounded like somebody said MB got a cow? Come on. Yeah, we were in Come On's. And we just kind of were listening while we were eating. And I just like, did they just say MB got a cow?
Yeah, so Thorhaven, you have an excellent point. And this is my,
put his point up. Where is it?
Oh yeah, I forgot we can do that.
Yeah.
This is an excellent point because this is my biggest fear now. Like we've had the sheep for a while. we kind of know what to expect. We know the signs of who's going to be a jerk and who's going to cause problems, and we know the damage they can do. So the boat we're in right this minute is, we knew it was coming. We'd already made the decision he was going. We have the butcher date for April.
But he's
just not going to make it that long. But that's my biggest fear with the cows is, without a lot of big equipment, we may not be able to do all of that ourselves. And if you have a bull who goes that way on you quick, it's kind of like, what do you do? Not saying I know yours hasn't, but yeah, that's my biggest fear, because that's an awfully, and you,
well, and we're kind of, looking at the homestead a little bit as we're thinking of things this spring and what we're going to develop and what we're going to keep going with and things like that. We're trying to, basically we need to be able to do all aspects of it ourselves, like you said. And I just am not sure that we can butcher a cow.
It's the physical mechanics of it, like our tractor.
And it's like what happened tonight with the ram. Now, he's a ram. He's like 200 pounds, maybe.
He's small
soaking
enough.
wet. He's a young ram. Even our big ram, you could tie him up and put him somewhere and he can't do any damage until you deal with him. But I don't know what you would do with a bull. So this is our big concern now, as we just got 2 cows, is what happens if that happens with a bull? What do you do? I mean, we just had a ram toast our barn stall, so I can't imagine what a bull would do. So
anyways, that's just one of those things, like I say, with sort of the changing environment.
Hey, Britton Farm.
Things, it's kind of more food for thought in the planning process.
Yeah.
You can have a long-term plan, long-term goals, and they just kind of, things change.
Yeah.
Sometimes they change really quick.
I'm glad to see that I did not miss something, MB. It seemed like you were saying that you guys had a cow or a feeder calf.
We were both surprised because we went back and we're like, we didn't see a video about that. Anyways.
Yeah. So anyways, no cow. Good. We're on the same thing.
Yeah. My dad and I in the past, we've done a deer. Now this is from hanging to in the freezer without ground in about a day with the 2 of us. That's about the best we've ever done. So
well, and the big thing with the cow, like even the sheep, you don't really have to hang it for any length of time, but you've got to have somewhere you can hang beef, right? Like they age it for what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not a butcher, but
yeah, I guess that's the other part of it too, right?
You're forced to. You've got to figure it out. So this is going to be our thing. Is like, now what? We got to figure it out.
You caught us in that point where we're sort of thinking, we're like, maybe overthinking it, but just like, is this a good idea?
Yeah. If you when you figure it out first, then we'll be hitting you up for exactly how did you do that, because we got to do one. But yeah, my parents were saying, we were talking to them the other day about this, and they said that they just hung it up on the hay elevator that put the stuff up in the loft and did it there, butchered their cow. But I don't know.
Yeah, they had a tractor, didn't they?
No.
No? Okay, so it can be done.
Oh.
Well, stay tuned to this space and see what happens. But we will definitely be processing at least 1 sheep here soon.
So how is everybody else that's come in? I have not, we've kind of been on a one-track mind here, but I did see that Gail had come in. Britton Farm.
Hopefully, we've kind of been following, but hopefully everybody's weather's improved. I know, like, with all the cold and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know Gail said yesterday, I think her power was all good again.
Yeah. Well, and they Drop said his was all gone, but got hail today.
Oh, so, if only it would rain hay.
Rain hay, exactly. Yeah. We've warmed up. It actually today, I will say, it actually felt like spring today, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
But miniature cows. Oh boy.
I can tell you my short thing on it is, I think to some degree they're a lot of money for what they are right now, because it's a gimmicky thing. That being said, I was looking on livestock for sale ads, and there was people selling chicken hatching eggs for like $150 for a dozen today. So take that for what it is, because
I'm concerned as to what prices are going to be on everything this year, because I think people have just gone crazy.
I think it's going to be an interesting.
I don't know
ride
if MB,
on the
you
livestock
must
side of
sell
things.
hatching eggs. What do you sell hatching eggs for?
But I'll answer your question from my opinion. Like, we looked into them too. For us, they pretty much, with one exception, they were completely unviable here because just nobody has them. So you're stuck.
We did,
doing,
yeah, because we looked into the mini jerseys. They
Yeah,
were very expensive,
and
and nobody has them for breeding.
This is something, I won't go off on too big of a tangent
Hey, Cliffside.
here, but this is something I think with livestock. It's seldom the animals all exist for whatever reason. It's the people that make it weird sometimes. As whether to get into them or how common something is, or I'm not doing that justice, but there's a social aspect to it, especially with cows, and I guess that's part of the thing you're buying into. So unless you're, if you're doing mini cows, unless you're going to just do your own grading down thing, which you can do, I don't know, which is a long time. Like cows is
just a long term thing. Period.
Yeah, it's a very long term thing.
Yeah,
we're glad that glad you're enjoying them. Like,
hey, Arkansas woodcutter.
We hope they're just. We hope it's doesn't sound too negative, because obviously we came to the beginning of this year not in the best place from setup and everything, so that's affected things. But
it'll be very interesting to see where it goes this year for the economics.
Well, and it brings things to the forefront of like, wait a minute, we need to actually look at this or rethink this or all those kind of things.
So sorry, they're 35 for the
Yeah,
that's exactly like you usually do.
I was just floored.
Yeah, Chris just did a little Google.
And they weren't rare
just
chickens.
To look.
It was like gold lace Wyandottes and something else. It was just somebody buying into that whole food prices and chickens are hot commodities, so I'm going to gouge, which is actually something that we find happens a lot with livestock up here. Maybe everywhere, but
Scottish Highland or other small unique breeds.
I do think Arkansas Woodcutter's got a good point. I think, this is my opinion, you're better to pick something that's somewhat proven if you're getting into cattle. That's been around for a little while. It's not that there isn't it's not that there's anything wrong with some of the miniature breeds, but definitely do your research on what you're getting into, because a cow is a big investment.
Hey, Jules.
But I think that's but Thorhaven can definitely tell you a lot more about the Highlands, because they've got a nice herd. We looked into them and thought about it, but we didn't want to go just on the beef. So, but yeah, it's a long-term thing. Unless you're just getting a feeder calf, like a bottle calf, or something you're going to just raise out sort of with that. I call it, I'm going to do a video about this, but it's like put and take agriculture. Nothing wrong with put and take agriculture, but it's like pigs. To buy 2 wiener pigs to raise out to butcher at a certain age, the economics is really simple and it's not so complicated. But as soon as you get into breeding something, or even plants, saving seeds and that, you add that whole extra level of complicatedness. But
it's still worth doing it. It's just, especially when you get into like Thorhaven with the, you're getting into a large herd of cattle. That's a big.
Well, long term, it's an investment.
Yeah.
There's no other way. Getting into cows, no matter how you look at it, you're investing in something long term, or you're probably going to lose lose your investment if you don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
But For chicks, they were up too. They were like going for $15. And I'm not saying they were all that, but we weren't even looking seriously. I just happened to pop on, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's!"
The most we've ever paid for a chick is $8.
Yeah, and that was because we knew they weren't very related to what we had. Getting complicated again.
Yeah, but it's crazy the markups. Well. My mom and dad work at a turkey hatchery, and they said that my mom was looking through
the flyer
that comes out from the hatchery that they sell birds to, and she just couldn't believe the price because they were $8 a pullet or whatever. Wasn't that what she said?
That was what they were reselling them for that.
Yeah, the markup was like 400%.
So the hatchery was selling them for like $2, and they were reselling them like a day or two later
for $8.
$8, and it's just like, wow, that's quite the.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my without going into it, that's my problem with sort of sometimes that more put and take, because it's like chickens, and there's nothing wrong with this. So I don't want to offend anybody, but if you're like you're buying your meat chicks to raise them out, to you're still dealing with a middle person or multiple middle people, and then, all depends on how sustainable you want to be. It's different if you're getting them directly from like your neighbor or somebody you know. That's totally different. But when you're buying them from a
middleman,
a big hatchery or a big company, it's kind of like, it's, I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion.
Right. Yeah, and I was just looking at Britain Farm. They sell theirs for $5 each, which I think is quite reasonable. That's a normal price, and I don't think that it should be a case that you get anybody's gouging because of COVID.
The price for, this is my opinion, no matter what the animal is, the price what you sell it at should be relatively reflective of your cost to raise it.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as we get into breeding some of these heritage things too, there is the whole part of, if you're really committed to the breed, you're also trying to get people interested in doing it. So charging an absolute premium is going to limit people from getting into it, and then you start to see the breed drop in numbers because nobody can afford to get into it when you're charging astronomical premiums for it, which is generalizing, and I don't like doing this, but that would be my dilemma with the mini cows. Is people are not in it necessarily to have a cow or to have a cow that's producing a product. They're in it to have a high priced animal they can sell live.
Mm-hmm. And we view that somewhat. We go down that line. We have this conversation quite often about the Kune pigs. At the end of the day, it's still a pig, and people here are charging $1,200 for a pig. And
we didn't pay that.
We did not pay that. We refused. We always said if we ever found them for under $600, it was worth getting into the Kunis, but we were not paying $1,200. But I mean, it is one of those, moving forward, this is what we've talked about. For us, we know how much we put into it and how much it actually cost us to keep our trio. So we know even at $500 or $600, you're still making decent money and you're not gouging somebody. That's the thing that's just crazy.
Well, and yeah, every breed has got a little different metrics in their cost benefit ratios, but however you want to put it. But no, that's an excellent point from Arkansas Woodcutter. Like, that's exactly what happens if you're selecting, no matter what you're selecting for, you will have a change on it. Like, that's why you see it with poultry a lot, where you've got a standard breed and that standard is supposed to fit within X. It's kind of like, it's like marketing, right? A barred rock is supposed to look this way so that it's a barred rock and not a whatever else. It makes sense. But then within that, because breeders can actually maintain, or people who raise them and use them for production can actually maintain populations to do meaningful selection, you will find that they always talk about this. It's like, this person's line will be kind of known for these traits and these qualities and these characteristics, and this person's line will be known for, they're still the same breed, but they've just they've diverged them from each other.
The same as with the bunnies, with the rabbits. Because I've bought Fisher lines, they're a darker rabbit and it just depends what the show world wants in that year. If they like the dark color, everybody wants the Fisher rabbits. And
that's a whole other conversation about show versus production qualities versus, which can get pretty murky.
Drops, you're getting an incubator. We have not.
We've had terrible luck in the what is that, since 2008? So I always can't do the
12
math.
years.
So the 12 or 13 years or whatever it is that we've had birds. We've done incubators and some
never had great success.
No, and we've always tried to switch like our chickens. We switch everything over to you do it.
Yeah, we just let them do it
and
instead.
Get way better results. Yeah. Which is actually an interesting point too about the incubator.
Hey, Laurie's World. Hey, Miles.
Versus letting the birdie hens do it. At least with the Chanticleers, we noticed there is some, and I noticed this with turkeys too. Actually, the heritage turkeys I used to have, there is some teaching goes on. So we kind of find often the ones that are raised under the broody hens are better adjusted to amalgamate into the flock population than the ones in the brooder, which I think, this is my theory, I think it comes from the fact that if you have a bunch of chicks in a brooder, they figure things out for themselves, and therefore they don't learn the
Dynamics.
how to be social,
Yeah.
which can cause problems later. That's just a observation.
Yeah.
No real scientific backing on it per se. There is a little bit on turkeys, but
I think you missed a little bit, but
I'm trying to keep up. So, like I say, if we miss anybody, we do apologize. I'm gonna go back up to this one.
Yeah. You got.
It's getting to spring.
Today felt a little bit more like spring.
Yeah, it was actually raining here for a bit.
Yeah.
So that's spring-like. But then it's supposed to get cold again here. So we're kind of on that, a little bit further south from us towards Lake Ontario. They get a little more mild. We're kind of just to that area that winter holds on that little bit longer, which is kind of annoying. It's like, yeah.
Well, or you get really, really nice days and then the miserable stuff always comes again.
Usually.
So, yeah. It's because you had to leave the farmyard today.
Yeah, venturing out.
I know. It was your first time. He had to go to a first aid course or something for work, right?
Yeah,
like that.
I had to do first
and it was the
course.
first time he'd had to leave the house for work purposes in 6 months, 5 months. Yeah. So, anyways, he brought the rain. It rained and was yucky.
I didn't bring the rain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you get to complain about it being cold, Lori.
Yeah. Yeah. Lori's cut off. What is that the moderators do? They put you in a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, for you, Thorhaven, does it kind of does spring come quick, or is it a bit of a gradual thing? Because that's one thing we find. We're kind of in that little bit of a limbo zone where it's kind of a long, drawn-out process for us. We end up, we did a video on it, but we kind of joke about it / complain about it. But it seems like at least, 2 months of the year?
Yeah.
1 month in the spring, 1 month in the fall.
Hey, come on.
Full-on mud season.
Yeah. Where
you kind of just sit in that limbo of it doesn't dry out, it doesn't really warm up, it doesn't really, and you just get a whole lot of mud.
Yeah.
Which is never fun. Never fun with big animals either. I'm always terrible at the conversion.
50 is 10.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't have to. I just had to.
That's pretty sweet for.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Temperature for end of February there.
But yeah, where you are, you'll get the same thing where it'll come back probably once or twice.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Joe and Sue. Oops. Hi, Sue. I didn't read the comment. I just looked at your name, the title, and then saw, it's Sue. Twin Brooks. Twin Brook, tell us where you are again, or not obviously pinpoint exactly, but
generally speaking,
you're right under Quebec, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Joe's snoring already. Hi, CJM. We're doing pretty good. How are you doing? Indeed.
I think the
yo-yo weather. I think that's
again without going into it too much. I think
New Hampshire.
No matter what anybody wants to say, there's definitely changes in local climates going on everywhere, and I think this yo-yo type effect is going to be here to stay for a while because. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how it affects things. Like I was looking at the maple trees have all got their little things on them out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I saw Sue yesterday was talking about having to go tap the trees in the snow for the maple syrup.
Oh, New Hampshire's a nice area.
Yeah,
haven't been there much, Quebec, but it's nice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Vermont, New Hampshire, sort of. Make kind of a thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. So Thorhaven's an hour north of Quebec City. So you've got a while before spring.
Yeah. We were talking.
Always wanted to go to Quebec City.
I've never gone.
I'm scared though because I don't speak French. I know. Canadian, I'm not dual language.
I can talk to the kids.
Well, the kids are in our kids are actually in French immersion. So we're just waiting for them to be old enough and then they can take us. Isn't that the way it usually is? We always just see the same people. We keep going from one to one to one. it's kind of neat though, because I think that all helps. I was talking to my grandmother, I guess last week before, anyway, about the thing. It's like, so many people are not being able to socialize and whatnot during this COVID stuff. And you hear, some of our friends talk about, how that sucks and whatever. And it's funny because with the YouTube thing, I said, you guys should just come and chat in our chats and whatnot. Cause it seems like it's no different than sitting around at the coffee shop or the bar or whatever. We're just kind of all drinking on our own not that I'm drinking.
We should be.
We should be.
We should be tonight.
Yeah.
But, that's funny. Yeah, it's amazing. Little, it always gets me, like when you say the Gulf Stream, it's like ocean currents, for example, little tiny minute, well, I say minute, but in the grand scheme of an ocean, little changes and the amount of difference that makes. Or like for us living next to Lake Ontario, when it doesn't freeze, how different that makes the weather and how it affects it is it's phenomenal.
It's a party here now. We're all here. It's a party now. Yeah.
Make it a party.
Oh.
Hi, Harvey Black. Is that Rice Lake in Ontario that you're talking about? Out of complete curiosity, Cliffside? So I know where that is.
I don't, but that's okay. You can tell me. We're kind of, as I get a hair in my mouth. We're sort of the same way there. Come on. It's basically Friday and Saturday nights. It's lives.
Yeah. Pretty much the only reason we still have, we still got Netflix and stuff is through the kids.
Netflix and Disney for the kids, but we don't.
It's just fine.
Yeah. Hey, Recyclable Homestead, how are you doing tonight? I could speak some French. Well, we're the same. I took French all the way through high school. It was mandatory. You had to take it. And now that the kids are speaking it a bit, some of it comes back, but not enough that I could feel comfortable.
I can't really speak it, but I can understand, at least at the kids level, I can understand enough of it to kind of get the gist of what's going on.
They talk us under.
They're
it's amazing. Better. The school that they're in, it's half day French. So the mornings are always French, and then the afternoons are always English. And they have, but their classes rotate. So one day they do math, social studies, and whatever, all in English, and then science, and the other, I don't even know what they take, phys ed. Those sorts of things are in French, and then they flip the next day. So it's a great way for them to kind of learn it naturally and whatnot. And yeah, hopefully we'll learn a little bit from them.
Yeah. Well, you're in Bancroft area. I like the Bancroft area. I've been up there quite a bit for work, actually, in the last 10 years.
Yeah, you have done a lot.
But yeah, you get a lot of snow too.
Bancroft, that's Hollaby Homestead's up that way too, right?
They're not that far.
Not that far. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is another rice lake, but I know there is a decent sized rice lake in Ontario. It's near Peterborough. It is good fishing too, because it's like I say shallow. It's a shallower warm water lake.
Well, she says good bass fishing, very big lake.
Yeah, it's a big long lake.
Yeah. So Sue is French till grade 9. I can ask for a copy. The only thing I remember is "Est-ce que je peux à la toilette, s'il vous plaît?" Yeah. That's the only thing I really remember. Can I go to the bathroom, please? Oh, takes us back.
Yeah. Toronto doesn't get much snow anymore, or it doesn't stay anyways, kind of in that golden horseshoe.
Yeah.
It's different when you travel down there.
Drops just planted his pepper starts today. Oh,
what did you do today?
I planted our pepper starts and are they called starts? Anyways,
yeah,
I did it as a video. It's just not edited yet. But our eggplant experiment with all the different eggplant seeds and our 3 different types of peppers. So we kind of maybe started a bit more than we should have. We're going to need a really big garden. We did, there were 66 eggplants.
That came up.
That I transferred to pots. And we had 72 Tolli's sweet Italian peppers. There was 30 hot Hungarian peppers and 134
The
Doe Hill. Or maybe I've got the Hungarian and the Doe Hill mixed up. But anyways, we were about 135 pepper plants and 66 eggplants. So we might maybe sell some at the end of the driveway.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't think we need all those. Oh.
Yeah, but at the same time, they do store well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. So we wanted lots. I just am not sure where we'll put them all if we actually kept them. But
we'll figure something out.
I wanted to take Spanish, Cliffside. I actually lived in Vancouver for a year and a half, and over there, as a second language, French was pretty much useless. Really, you either needed. I'm not
Mandarin.
Yeah, that's like or some type of Asian language. Or the Spanish was the next one. So, hey, Overwork Gardener, Bettina, hi. Yeah. So, anyways, as Sue was saying, great garden started. It's now we got to figure out putting everything everywhere because it's a lot of. Well, you can kind of see them up. There's the clear buckets up on top of us there,
we kept them upstairs for now. We'll probably wait till they get
a little bit bigger before we shock them with going downstairs to the.
It's a little cool down there still.
Yeah,
but we've got the wood stove up here, so they do a little better.
Yeah, for a little bit longer. I don't know if we keep getting warmer temperatures, the wood stoves may not go as long as. But anyways, I gotta wash some fleece before we are done with the wood stoves. But
yeah, that's the next thing we gotta do is wash them.
Oh, you're supposed to clean the kitchen, Bettina. Oh, that's where I go wrong. I tell you, it's so frustrating. I spent like an hour and a half today cleaning it up and doing dishes and getting the table all set up to do my plant starts. Then I started doing the plant starts. Now I'm back to square one. It looks like a disaster went through here.
And we have a really big table.
Yeah, so. It's like 4 foot by 8 foot. So it's a nice table, but it gets covered in crap.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, but hope you're good tonight.
It's all usable crap.
We have a meltdown probably every 2-3 weeks, and Chris is like, we need to get rid of stuff. We just got to get rid of it. It's all crap. And then we start going through and looking at it and going, but we need that crap.
I say we've got to get rid of all crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we look around and none of it's crap. None of it's crap. It's all stuff we're going to need at some point in our lives. Oh. Dig a hole down. In bedrock. There you go. Exactly. Well, I find
dig the hole to then take all the stuff that you've cleaned and get
rid
of it.
Put it in there. Yeah. Well, I find it, it's really weird because I don't begrudge going out to the barn and cleaning the barn for my animals and stuff. But for some reason, I really have an issue with cleaning the house. And it has to happen. You have to do it. But it's one of those things, for some reason, I can go out and shovel crap out of the stalls and I don't complain. I don't, I don't mind it. I enjoy it.
But it is one of those things too. Shoveling stuff out of the stall, then it goes to the manure pile to break down to become soil. So there's like you're doing something that's still beneficial.
Maybe, and the just moving things around the house doesn't feel beneficial at all.
That's our problem. We don't have the storage set up yet, and that's a big thing for us. We have some, but
our old place, we were like that. Overwork Gardener. Bedrock is you got maybe 6 inches, 8 inches in some places.
I was gonna say there was a couple spots we got to about 12.
Yeah,
that was like
building a fence really sucked.
And we kind of built everything on top of the soil because there wasn't any point of digging down.
Oh,
but which did work, but. Yeah, that's our problem too. We keep all the stuff because it always happens. You think you're never going to use that again. You never whatever. And then you get rid of it. And 6 months later, you're like, why did I get rid of that?
Yeah.
So now we don't use that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we don't.
Even all the crap that came with this place when we bought it, we haven't got rid of.
No, but we used a lot of it.
We did. A lot of it came in handy.
And there's still some more to put to work. Like we found a stash of garden ties that they left, and there's got to be like 30 of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to come in really.
They're not
really
good
handy.
enough to use for like building a building floor or something like that, but for all around the garden beds.
Well, yeah,
it's like those
for raised or low raised beds.
And there was there was an old barn.
Well, that's where we took the rafters. We took those and did our sheep barn with them because they were just laying around. So always ways to recycle things, and then you're glad you kept it. We should probably start some celery soon too, because it's slower if I remember. I haven't grown it.
Well, and I saw a couple other people had already started theirs, so I think we probably should, because we actually got seeds to try. We've not had much luck with celery, but just in case Shed Wars does the biggest celery challenge.
I don't know if ours will, because ours is like a weird heritage one.
Oh, red. Way to go! You ordered the wrong one.
It was like red stalked celery, I think it was. I'd have to go find the seed pack, but
it's not that big of a.
I'm excited for it. It's supposed to have good flavor, so I don't really like eating celery, but I like the celery flavor. So figured something with bigger flavor was probably a good idea.
Yeah. We're probably early on the starting this year, because we're usually so far behind, as you can see. If when you watch any of our videos, we always say, in typical Hickory Croft Farm fashion, we were late. So this year we were going early, and now I'm kind of concerned because we have so many plants.
We're not that early,
but we do have the greenhouse this year, so that will be.
It just feels early. Yeah, but we're about on track for peppers and stuff.
The crap on the counters. Well, I don't have a lot of counters, so pretty much everything gets piled on the table. But
yeah, the table is a catch-all space.
Yeah.
What are you starting, Indiana Backyard Gardener? Since you're starting seeds right now, you can give us the lowdown on what you.
I'm betting she's planting some peppers.
Oh, she's doing because she said that.
Oh,
it's further down.
I didn't look ahead. I didn't cheat. Put a fence now.
That was one thing we trying to keep goats when you didn't have a lot of soil was interesting.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
We did we did
a funny zigzag.
Yeah, fence. For just if you wanted to do it, we used 4x4 posts.
Good night, CJM Farms.
Night. Thanks for coming in. We did 4x4 posts, and then we did 2x6, or we used even just the deck boards, the 1.25 by 6 inch, and we just made the zigzag with them. And even our big bucks couldn't move it.
No,
and it was we just kind of dug down the couple inches that we could get.
They couldn't push it,
and it worked pretty good. So
it wasn't the cheapest way.
Not the cheapest, but it did keep them where they were supposed to be. So
yeah, we got to get on our celery. We'll do that this weekend. We'll plant celery and a few other things.
He's in charge of the chat, so I do apologize if we miss anything. I feel like it jumps quite a bit.
It is jumping a bit. It's funny.
Yeah, well, I know Kamon said he had that too. It was jumping. Maybe it's something to do with YouTube, because it seems like we're lulling, and then all of a sudden it goes like
ahead,
boom.
And then so we apologize.
Yeah.
But we'll
Sue started her
good night, come on. We'll talk to you later.
Where are you seeing that?
Right there.
No, CJ was leaving. He said, "See you later." Oh my goodness!
I can't read.
Night for later. When you leave later, he's already up to. He's now. See, this is starting early. You're not late this time. Yeah, you're early for saying goodbye to Kamon. Started a few. Celery must take a little while though to come up, doesn't it? Sue said she started a few days ago.
Yeah, and Drop said he started his 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh, 2 months ago? Oh boy.
I think I read
Utah celery. It takes 100 days. What's ours? Is the pack there?
No. I'll go get it.
I'm not sure what ours is. Chris got a weird kind.
Oh, it's not that weird.
Well, it's kind of weird.
Everything I do is kind of weird.
It's a perennial predecessor to what was that? I missed. See, this is where I said you missed something, because she's got Cliffside's got they'll accept lovage.
So yeah, we got red stalk celery. I'm kind of excited to try it.
So how many days is that? It says start indoors 6 to 8 weeks prior.
So we'd be doing it shortly. It should start downstairs, no problem. In the grow room though.
Doesn't say how many days though to thingy.
No, this one just has a sort of generic thingy on the back, but I'm excited to try it. If nothing else, it's quite a pretty looking celery from the pictures. But
Mhm.
I don't know if we'll have the longest or biggest celery from it though, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That was kind of our thing with Shed Wars. We didn't really want to change anything that we would do normally. Just to,
Yeah.
it's kind of like if the challenges and stuff work out, great. If they don't,
Next one.
well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not really changing too much.
Yeah. She uses the Drops uses the leaves to cook with during the winter. Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. I actually grew. I'm trying to get it. I grew one. I grew one that was just for the leaves, soup celery, and I liked it. But
Yeah.
we
Well,
had
what's the one that was the big root, the ball thing?
oh, that's celeriac.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is also I don't
Yeah.
mind that. We have
It was
some
good
of
in
that too.
soups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this will be interesting to try this one and see if it does better for us. What's else got? I like starting my peppers 1st of March. See, we're early.
Not by much. We're only a week and a half early.
Yeah, last year we started them this early too. So
yeah. Now last year we started them around this time and still got them in late.
Yeah,
we were a little bit stunted. But
they sat outside weathering for hardening off for like a month, if not more, in their pots. So they got a little leggy last year, but they still produce like crazy. So that's good. Lori's got her celery started.
Yeah, we actually did that too. I did a couple of harvests of our castings from our 2 little indoor worm bins.
Yes,
put it off to the side, and I've been sort of adding it into the mixture that we've been putting our seeds in. Not a lot because I'm trying to make it go a little further, but I think that was kind of one of the biggest reasons to get the worms, was to try to produce the castings. The castings.
Yeah.
Kind of. I think it was after talking to you that I was like, oh, let's just do it. Because otherwise we could just compost the stuff outside and it would
it would work fine too, but we wanted the castings. So yeah, Cliffside saying same thing as what we did about the not changing what we grow.
Well, I figure we do enough stuff anyways, and really the challenges are fun, don't get me wrong. We'll still try the celery one. It's fine. We wanted to grow the celery anyways, but I don't know.
Well, they do different ones all year, so it was just one of those things. Like, wasn't one this year the longest zucchini or something?
Well, that one we won't be in because we're not growing zucchini. So
unless they allow the snake ones.
It's not a zucchini.
I know it's not. But, yeah, but yeah, we kind of we're sticking with basically the same things we always grow, and I think the only thing that's really going, because we said last year we wanted more peppers and eggplants because. This year we froze them and they froze amazing. So we said we wanted to double what we grew last year so that we had a full winter supply in the freezer.
And so we have like how many?
A lot, 72. Last year we grew 18 of the sweet Italian pepper plants. So this year we have 72. That'll be a lot of peppers in the freezer.
Yeah, because they're pretty prolific.
Yeah, well, but I think the only thing that's going to go up, hopefully, this year will be the sweet potatoes because we've got a lot of sweet potato slips. So we're growing.
And hopefully, we'll get some more started here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pink stuff's cutting celery. There you go. See?
Yeah. That's good though, because I almost prefer that to the stalk celery just for actual usage. But then we can dry it too, or dehydrate it and store it too.
Yeah, for soups or things like that. So. Starting all my herbs and Brussels. I want to get my basil started.
Yeah,
I even sat the seeds out to do it, but then I got all the peppers going, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I've got a spot right now to put it, but I do want to get that going.
We started a couple of kohlrabi plants to actually try indoors and see after following Guten Gardening.
Yeah,
we were like, let's try it.
Yeah. I think we only did 6.
Yeah, we didn't do too many, but we're going to do another bigger batch for it.
So we're going to start. Well, when we were going to put them in pots because if they didn't get ready in time, we could move them out.
The ones the 6, yeah.
Yeah, but for now they're going to be trying to grow down in our grow room. So our grow room is slowly filling up.
Well, that's all right. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, it's you squeaking. I keep hearing this squeaking, and I'm like, what is squeaking? 4 different kinds of peppers, too mild, too hot. That's good. That's pretty much what we're doing. 4 peppers. That's it.
Yeah, we're even contemplating going down to 3 just to make life easier to keep seeds. But but yeah, we kind of did it. We've got 2 sweet peppers that we like, and the 2 hot ones. But they're different hot. One's more of a one's a bit spicier than the other one.
Well, the one is kind of grind up to be like pepper flakes and powder, like a hot powder, where the other one's more like jalapenos that you could use for cooking or jalapeno poppers or whatever.
Yeah, which works really well.
Yeah, and those are ones I don't really want to stop growing those ones, but I do find the ones for the really hot stuff that you would make into powders and stuff. I don't need to grow them every year, because if I grow them one year, I've got enough. We're throwing them out, so to speak, because I mean they go to the chickens or whatever, but we just can't consume the amount of hot chili powder that they make.
But that's a kind of a, I don't know, fundamental of just growing stuff that you use.
See, Drop sounds like he's doing my tea garden. I really want a tea garden this year. We totally got rid of coffee. Hey guys, that's enough. Sorry, cats are playing with my cords. Anyways, we totally cut out the coffee. We don't drink coffee anymore, and we've gone to drinking teas. And we always look on the mixed pouch, like the what's in them, and I go, well, we should grow that. We should grow that. So
we have some of that stuff.
Well, we have the chamomile.
We've got lots of burdock.
Our yarrow's all over the yard already.
Yeah, we actually, where we used to live, we had quite the lemon balm. We did dig one up, but it didn't make the trip.
No, it died over the winter when we moved it. So we tried lavender here, and I don't think we looked after it very well the first year.
We'll try it again.
So we're going to get more.
Whether we start it this year or not.
Lemon bergamot sounds neat. Yeah. I really want to get a, and I always say the wrong thing. Is it a distiller or a diffuser? It's the thing to make the essential oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful with it with so many cats.
Well, I would have to have a spot to do it, but I do want to get where I can make my own essential oils, because we used to make soap and things like that. And it's just kind of, once you started having to buy all the products to do it, it kind of went, well, is it really worth it when you can go and buy it from somebody else that makes it for the same price? So
we've got a pretty good sized rosemary plant that I think it's still alive. I went and looked at it.
I'm skeptical.
We're going to see. We put it in the greenhouse this winter
to see if it would overwinter, but it's 2.5 feet tall and a big bush. Like it's a tree.
It might make it. If it doesn't, we'll start over and bring it in juice, but from now on.
And we mulched. We left the oregano survived last year in the winter, and we didn't mulch it. So this year we had two big. We grow in those blue 50-gallon barrels. Yeah. So we had 2 of those that had oregano, and we mulched it all this year. So it should definitely come back. And the parsley, I mulched it this year to see. I trimmed it all up, and then we mulched it down in those blue barrels. But we've not had success with the parsley coming back before, but maybe with a little bit better TLC this time, maybe it'll come back. What else is out there? Our chives, obviously, they'll be fine.
Fine.
And we planted purslane in a bucket this time.
You put the seeds in it.
The seeds, from all of our purslane, because I make purslane relish. So
there'll be purslane come up.
I know it'll come up no matter what.
It'll come up in a bunch
chocolate mint tea, exactly, Miles.
Yeah.
We bought chocolate mint and we put it. Sorry, I skipped ahead because I saw that one. I was like, that's my favorite one.
We want to get more chocolate mint.
At our old place, there was chocolate mint everywhere. And here, there's spearmint everywhere. I mean, honestly, if you need spearmint, we'll just ship you it by the bucketfuls, because there's so much spearmint, we just feed it to the rabbits.
And
then it keeps coming. But the chocolate mint, we planted it in the food forest area. And
Night,
MB. Have a good one. And we planted in the food forest area, and it didn't do so hot last year with how dry it was.
It's all still alive,
though,
so I have a funny feeling it didn't really spread last year, but I'm pretty sure it will this year. You'll be surprised. It'll all go pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But we still definitely have more. But as far as the lemon balm, the best spot would be to check some of the...
Who's that that's got lemon balm seeds? Please do. Sorry, scroll up. Oh, Cliffside.
You might be able to send them to us, to Canada, not too bad. It was just the sending it the other way that was sort of problematic.
But we had seeds come from other people.
But lemon balm's fairly often available in the big box. All the big box stores usually have it.
Yeah, we just haven't gone and picked
We just didn't get any last year.
But...
Well, we didn't get any last year because we didn't know where we wanted to put it. Because it's kind of one of those things. Definitely choose where you want it, because it will go
over.
nuts, which is good.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. You know what, Bettina, I thought that about the coffee, and it's now, don't get me wrong. Like if we go out somewhere, I order coffee because it's like a treat now to have it, but I don't miss it at home. Sorry. Just, she said she loves herbal tea.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Any tips for the raised beds? We like them. Not everything grows super fantastically amazing in them.
Well, not the first year. Once they've been established for a year or two, we found that they did really well. But we did ours with kind of hugelkultur. I always say that wrong.
Yeah.
That sort of style, because we did the wood in the bottom, and then we did
we're catching up on the we're catching up.
We did the wood in the bottom, then we did like a compost manure layer and a little bit of peat moss, didn't we?
A little bit
in some of them because we had it from the blueberries and stuff, and then we did the topsoil on it, and it seems to have worked really good for most things. But definitely, I think this year we saw it settle. I mean, it settled down probably 5 inches over the year. So again, we're bringing in some more compost and topsoil to fill them again this year. So I think this year they're going to be amazing, and they still produced quite well last year. Mm-hmm. But
that's too bad about your rosemary drying up like that. Surprised it would have, because usually the spraying with the dish soap solution doesn't harm them. They usually do better. Because of what's in the dish soap.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing, and that was why we did the Canadian Seed Challenge, because we looked into it. We knew it wasn't too bad to send from the U.S. to Canada, but it was sending from Canada to the U.S. that was the weird part. Needed more paperwork and stuff. So, but,
I'm going to go back here. Joe and Sue, Sue, I know it's Sue, it's not, was talking about trading some stuff too. So we should, definitely, now that we've kind of got it started, we definitely want to stay in touch and keep talking with people. And, if you express something that you guys need or that sort of stuff, then we'll definitely try and work it out. It's one of those nice things about the gardening community.
Yeah. We've been saving toilet paper rolls to take your idea for a few things. I don't know. You've got a stash.
I know. I keep making a stash, and then the kittens keep stealing it, and then
it's like the reverse stash.
Yeah.
Instead of hoarding the toilet paper,
we're hoarding the rolls. Yeah.
Oh, which is kind of funny.
The one thing I was going to say with going back to the raised beds with Kamon's comment there, the one thing that we find the 12-inch depth. Like, I don't think because some of the raised beds that were a little bit shorter than that weren't as good. The two by 6 boards was kind of what we've now decided is the minimum depth that we would have to have, because I find that it doesn't seem to do as well
unless you're doing that's for annuals.
Yeah.
If you were doing perennial stuff, you could do with like wood chip or mulch like that. You could do less. They do okay, but then you're technically planting them in the ground and then kind of putting the mulch in the bed. So that's different. But I don't know if we have a video. No, I don't think we do showing what they look like.
No, but we have to build 3 more, so we're gonna do one.
Yeah, finish up our thing.
Oh, I see drops planted. Am I ahead of you? I'm probably ahead of you. Oh, I saw that you planted 9 different types of peppers.
Oh, yeah, you must be ahead. I think our actual thingy is a little behind, so apologize for that. The 3 sister planting, how did your corn do in the buckets? I was kind of borderline giving up on corn.
Yeah, we've not had any luck with corn. It takes so much space in a garden.
Well, between that
raccoons,
not being able to save seeds unless you get really technical about it, because everybody around here grows corn.
Yeah,
the commercial genetically modified stuff. So yeah.
I'd definitely be curious. I tried to do the three sisters thing last year with our corn.
It worked okay.
The beans just pulled the corn over.
Yeah.
Like it all ended up.
The beans and the squash did good.
The beans and squash did amazing. Corn not so well because the beans pulled it over. So maybe I did something wrong in my method. I'm not sure, but it just didn't seem to do so well.
cutting the rosemary. But you'd have an excellent climate for the rosemary to grow year round. So
well, that's where I do wonder
crazy.
though if we should have cut ours back, leaving it out, and it would have regrown this year.
We'll see what happens with it.
It's an experiment.
Another experiment.
That's okay. I grow in all raised beds, and it took mine 3 years. So yeah. That's what we're kind of thinking. Like, this is year 2 for our raised beds here, and I'm really thinking the stuff that had trouble in them last year was our beans compared to the previous years that we'd grown them in a raised bed on the trellis. The beans, it just dried out too much, I think, for them. Yeah.
The one thing about us though is when we moved, we were kind of crazy and we bagged up all the soil that was in the raised beds and brought it with us. So I don't think it'll take us the full 3 years because you've kind of already got that somewhat aged soil, sort of. We did add to it, so.
Experiment drops that's his experiment this year with the 3 sisters. So I'll be curious to watch that and see how it goes because.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes,
especially in a pot. That would be.
I want to try. I always say it wrong. Sorghum. That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's something that's on another experiment.
You ordered seeds.
We've grown it in the past. We have quite a few seeds of it, but we're going to try growing Mennonite sorghum for a couple different reasons. And I've heard it does quite well in a pot as well. So we might. It's
quite tall.
It gets quite tall. Well, it's basically like a giant grass. Corn kind of is too, but yeah.
80-day corn seeds.
Wow.
Now that would be worth looking into.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I used to grow, years ago, I grew Bloody Butcher corn, which I really liked it. And it was a really good variety. It's higher in, its protein levels higher than a lot of the modern corn hybrids. So it's like good for grinding and feeding livestock and that sort of thing. But it was just, it takes it's over 100 days. And yeah, you need such a big patch to keep it going, to have enough to use for things, to then keep seeds from, and then all it takes is one contamination. And yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Go up a little bit. Sorry. So I wanted to see what he said about his raised beds. That was all. Sorry.
I'll put it up there.
There we go. 2.5 feet. Yeah, that's my favorite one too. We've got a kind of a variety of different heights, but my favorite one is the one that was the 5 boards. 4 boards. 4 boards. So that's basically 2 feet.
Yeah.
And I like the height. I do feel it allows you to work a lot with the soil too, which is really good.
Well, we really like them for the raised beds for the stuff like the smaller finicky stuff that you've got to spend a lot of time coming back to. Like for us, it's like tomatoes and things that you can kind of put somewhere and forget about them for a while. I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense, but it just doesn't seem like the best use of space for us, I guess. But like the lettuce was a big thing, and some of the what else?
Well, we grew the basil, the basil, the lettuce. We put the Swiss chard in a high one, and it did amazing. I'm very similar to Lori on the rosemary. I just don't use it. It sat there all year, and I think I cut 2 or 3 sprigs off of it. And then we put it away for the winter. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be one of those things. Maybe if we actually get a barbecue this year, I'll use it. But
yeah, well, it'd be nice. It's nice to just have it if it's low enough maintenance.
Yeah.
But
so sorry, I'm still up in the one with Joe and Sue. So Joe and Sue are also in their 3rd year at their place, and so your gardens will really be coming into their own as well now. So it'll be exciting. It's going to be a good year, I think. I'm staying positive.
So. Yes, I think it's going to be a great year for gardening.
Yeah.
For a very, very large variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to take all the soil. We looked ridiculous. It was very.
We had a 16-foot trailer, and we'd put all the soil into old feed bags because that was easier to move it, and then it sat up in our riding ring all winter long in the bags. Oh, it was bad, but it was great come spring because it had composted even more in those bags, so it was good.
Okay, so that was our problem. Jack was saying, get the sweet corn established first, then do the beans. That makes sense.
Okay, see, we didn't. We planted it all at the same time. So yeah, that was our screw up.
We may try it again because we grow quite.
Like I say, the beans and the squash did really well. It's just it pulled the corn, and that makes sense because it wasn't rooted in enough, and yeah, it just pulled it up. But
yeah, rosemary would be good for having with the chicken.
Willet Girl's got a 70-day sweet corn too. So that must be a hybrid one.
Yeah, what kind would that be?
That'd be
I'm always
awesome.
Curious on that sort of
What's
stuff.
the one that we tried? We weren't going to save seeds. It was the not Canadian early.
Is that the one we grew last year?
No, last year we tried one that we were going to save seeds from.
I don't remember.
Anyway. Beans growing faster. Puts rosemary on his chicken all the time. I don't ever think about it. I honestly, it's just one of those I never do. I don't know why, but I'm terrible. I use Italian seasoning on everything. Well, we make our own Italian seasoning, and
yeah, we'll have to make some people moderators and stuff so they can drop links. We just haven't done it yet, but we'll. I don't know if we can do it after we're in StreamYard right now, so we can't. But yeah, that'd be interesting to look some of those up.
Hang on here. Maybe.
I don't think we've grown tarragon, have we?
Tarragon. No, I don't think I've ever used tarragon. That's terrible. I know.
What's the one we really want to get? Lemon thyme. We want to get that again.
And I saw somebody. Was it? I don't know if it was Gail. It's a Gail Southern Living, or somebody was starting lemon basil. I didn't even know there was lemon basil. That would be awesome because I have lemony. I make a recipe. It's called lemony basil soup. It's a tomato soup, and it's amazing. And lemony basil would make it even better.
Good night, Twin Brooks Acres.
Yes, thank you so much for
in the near future too.
We're gonna see if I can.
I can do that.
What? No.
No,
it only lets you put them in timeout.
I think you have to do it in StreamYard or in the YouTube live.
Hang on. Let me see if I can figure this out.
I've only got block and put user in timeout. We're slowly figuring all this stuff out.
Yeah.
We're a little slow when it comes to technology. Sorry, I'm a little slow when it comes to technology.
This is it's catching
up. We'll have to look into
okay.
tarragon.
Let me do this here. There we go. Oops, maybe. I gotta figure it out. You keep going on that. I'll figure it out.
We'll have to look into tarragon because it's not something we've ever tried before. But
there, Cliffside, you have a wrench. Now you can put the link in. She always has good ones. There you go.
If anybody else wants a wrench. We're giving wrenches out now.
Yay, giving out wrenches. And by no means we're not making, it's just one of those, we're kind of going like North Shore just hands out wrenches. It's great because then everybody kind of, there's always somebody if they catch something nasty being said, and not that we've ever had that problem, but maybe a time will come. You never know. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things. There we go. Now she can post her link. The thing.
Yeah.
And now it's disappeared, and she's probably already closed the window that had the link.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to look into the lemon basil.
Yes,
because we've only ever grown the sweet basil, which we like.
The lemon thyme was the same way. It smelled like lemon. It was, and
it tasted amazing.
And we brought it with us when we moved, and all 3 big bunches of it died. So they didn't move in November.
Yeah, we tried to keep it. We actually did baby them a little bit, getting them here, but we didn't get them back in the ground, so they didn't make it.
Yeah.
But we do have a spot that we could plant it along the house right here. It would do really well because it's protected.
Yeah. So if I ever find it again, I'm going to get it.
Right.
Yes.
Right down there.
Yeah, that's kind of a little really sheltered nook there. That's
quite nice and sheltered.
Well, she's got we still talk about like the people who owned it before still own it, but anyway, she had lots of flowers and stuff there, so it's quite a nice little spot. But
yep, you figured it out. Well, come on, told you how to do it.
Just look it up on YouTube. How to add mods. Yeah, there we are.
Well, now's your chance. If anybody else wants,
there we go. I'll just go make everybody moderators. No, I'm just kidding. No, we haven't needed them yet, but it was just like when people are trying to post a link, there's that like Cliffside's putting in a good one there. So that's
we'll
awesome.
We'll have to check that out.
And then that way, come back to it. So perfect. There you are. We'll eventually be calling in favors for moderators, I'm sure, at some point. But because we've been in some some chats, and it just seems like one nasty comment after another seems to come in, and how do these people start this? But anyway, it is what it is.
All of our lives are relatively benign, except for talking about nasty sheep.
Yes, our nasty sheep is about as bad as it gets around here, but they look pretty.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Just got a new sub. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Homestead Aquarius.
There you go. You can make come on homesteading a mod.
Yeah, there we go. I will mod if you need one. I will make you a mod, and then you can just, whenever you're in here, you can take on that. You can have the power too.
Yep, we're giving out power tonight.
There we are. But thank you so much for coming in. And it kind of works really nice with your live being right before ours, because we get into yours as well. So
I was actually just thinking that she's not in here right now, or we could.
She mods. Boone mods for so many people. I wouldn't ask. She's always a moderator. But anyways, have a good night. Come on. What else?
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of humorous, but
was it in MB's the other night?
Yeah,
and it was just one after another, and we're just like, how do these people even find it? But they do somehow. Okay, so she's posted a link for the
70-day.
Yeah, so. There we are here. Oh no, we have trouble in the house. What's our trouble in the house?
I think it's Homestead Aquarius.
Oh, Homestead Aquarius is the trouble. Oh, got it. It's one of those whoosh moments.
Oh, that's funny.
Took her compost pile. Oh yeah, we didn't leave anything. We dug up all our blueberries. The only thing we left was an apple tree, because we didn't think we needed it because this place had so many apples.
I don't think. Oh, we didn't take the red currants.
We didn't like the red currants.
Well, I did. Nobody else did. We didn't have enough time to get them dug up. But it was only, I think, 6 of them. It was the black ones we didn't really like.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the variety.
But I mean, we pretty much took everything. Mm-hmm. We dug up all of our Saskatoons that we planted. But in all fairness, we didn't really ask about digging up all the fruit, but we did ask before we took the raised beds. Mm-hmm. We did make sure that the people that bought our place didn't want them. So, and they were quite happy to have them all removed. So we took them all with us. So it was great, because that saved us a whole lot when we got here.
Yeah. Frozen bags of feed bags full of frozen soil is quite heavy.
Oh yeah.
It's not exactly a what do you call it? Light thing to move around.
And yeah. When you're asking family and friends to help you move, and they're like, "Why are we moving dirt?" Like, trust us, it will be important later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we got rid of this is like what you were saying earlier. Oh. We still feel like we've got a lot of clutter.
Now we're calling it clutter, not crap.
Crap, clutter, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same. But it is true. Like, we're kind of to that point where most of the stuff, it's like sitting here, most of the stuff looking around, it's useful. It's jars, it's storage containers, like the Rubbermaid totes, it's reference books that we want to keep. It's like we kind of did trim away a lot of it's not really downsizing, like the tiny home type thing. I don't think we could do a tiny home, because to do all the stuff we do, there's so much stuff.
The only way we said we could do a tiny home is if you then build an outdoor kitchen, an outdoor studio, an outdoor. You'd have to build all these. Well, like what is the big one? Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy, because they built their small cabin, but then they built a huge kitchen that's a separate building, and that would be us. Like we just couldn't. Our actual living requirements are pretty, like even our kitchen, we use a very small space, but when it comes to the canning stuff and all of the, craft stuff and everything else, it's an animal stuff, because all that bleeds into the house, because you can't have it out in the freezing, or you can't whatever.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, so it ends up being crazy.
I'm noticing a trend though, because in looking at the chat, it sounds like everybody has the proverbial crap in their house.
Yeah.
Everybody who gardens has.
Right now our house is a disaster of garden stuff. We've got containers everywhere and those horrible black pots that still had dirt in them from the year before. So that dirt gets all over when you take them out. But we've got that, and watering cans and shelving everywhere to get things started. And to the untrained eye, it looks like a disaster.
There's a small part of me that would love the tiny home, but it's just not practical.
Oh, you could not do it. Have you seen your Pokemon figure collection? That would take up. What about your books?
Well, but the books are useful.
But they wouldn't fit in a tiny home.
No.
We'd have to have a library as a separate building. We'll build a town.
That was Homestead Prairie said that was his dream. It would be kind of nice in some ways. It'd be hard for us because
winter time.
But if we didn't have that, it wouldn't be that bad actually.
Well, we could move again.
No,
we'd have to move to America. Well, Lori's pretty close. Lori's pretty close to being ideal.
Yeah, that's a long way to move, though.
I know. Could you imagine hauling our sheep?
You'd be starting all over again. Oh, gosh,
no,
I couldn't imagine.
Not a chance.
Everything goes back to the sheep. Moving day. That was interesting. Our kids want, in our area that's got the food forest, we kind of talk about the idea of maybe building a small cabin back there, like a 10 by 10.
Yeah, with one of the loft things that,
Oh, and the kids are like, they would love to, they're at that age, they would love to live out there. I don't think they'd make it a night with the coyotes and stuff that we have here.
The coyotes come right into where we're basically talking about putting the cabin.
Yeah.
But once you had a cabin out there and you were using it, the coyotes would stop coming.
Yeah, probably.
They would. And we already have an outhouse, so we're good. They'll all be just set up.
Yeah, we just have to move the outhouse.
The kids we won't even know they're here.
I think the library cabin's a neat idea. I probably have enough books. I could half fill a 10 by 10.
You could start at one of those lending libraries at the end of the lane, but it would be a whole building.
Yeah, but I don't want to lend them out. I need them. I need my books.
Yeah.
Books are very useful. There you go. Indiana Backyard Gardeners offering up her...
Oh, she wants to be a mod. Well, that's okay. Yeah. If you want to be a mod, I'll make you a mod. That's not a problem. It's always helpful. And obviously the offer's always, reversible too. Next time we're in a live of yours, we're always happy to be mods for people too. Half the time you don't have to do anything other than post links, which we like to do anyway. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it works out great. Bettina loves the little lending libraries. Oh, yeah. Also be a good spot for guest relatives. Exactly. Sorry, I skipped the one that you actually had. I thought that was the last one that you had up. It's moving along. Well, that's what we kind of thought. The kids have these grand illusions that we could do like a farm stay type thing where people could come and stay at the cabin by the pond. And maybe one day, I don't know. But like you say, for family to come and visit, or, the kids have friends over, it's a cool place for them to go. Mm-hmm. They have a zip line that they'd like to put up, and it'll be the party area.
I like the little lending library things too. It's a neat idea. I just have books that I would definitely want back.
Yeah.
That's all. We want to do an outdoor kitchen as well.
Exactly. Screened in, but yeah.
Yeah, something more just for like a summer kitchen. Like my
because canning, we can in August and it's awful.
My great grandmother used to have one. Hers was actually it was outdoors, but it was a porch. And all the windows opened up, and she had hers. She did have a fridge out there and a.
Hey, Canadian proud, get outdoors. Sorry, I just saw you come in there.
But, yeah, it's a good idea. It's not weird to me because
I grew
up
Well, and this is what we said for the next time we do our sugar beets. I want to have an outdoor fireplace to do it on, so that we're not doing it inside, because we're going larger scale this year with that. So I want an outdoor fireplace thing set up, and we're going to start collecting up some big pans that are okay for using on a fire rather than using my good canning pots. But I think that would be a solarium type of kitchen. There you go. Exactly.
We jumped again. Yeah, exactly. I think that would be a great thing for us to have here. And if we do it, wait, 10 by 10 is small, but if we do it 10 by 10, we don't need building permits, basically, as long as we keep it far enough away from lot lines, which is not really a problem here. So that is like, even at our old place, that was kind of the big thing because...
Well, it's like our greenhouse. We had to build it 10 by 10, so we didn't have to get planning permission and stuff. But we could have as many 10 by 10s as we'd like.
Yep.
So we'll just build more.
Just keep building them.
Yeah. We got lots of windows still.
We have a bit of a theme on that. 10 by 10 or whatever that. Isn't it 120 square
No,
meters?
it's 108 square feet.
108 square feet. It's like a weird size, but...
But you could go high. So this is why we said the cabin at the pond, we want to do it so that you go up into a little loft area.
Yes, if anybody... I don't know, can we do it? If somebody wants to share Homestead Aquarius's... There's only 12 of us in here, but still, if anybody wants to put his link up there.
Yeah. Well, we should. Well, how
definitely.
Is Homestead? Yeah, he's still in here. How many hours are you short? We should put it on tonight and just let it run. I'm assuming you've probably got a good playlist for for that to happen. Let's see here.
We're doing better tonight at keeping up.
Bettina, but I want to take books. I'm not so keen on leaving, but taking. I find I collected books I used to be a huge reader. I loved reading. And I have so many books, and I still collect books, but I don't have time to read. So it's one of those things. I probably should thin out my books.
And all my books are like reference books. I have field guides on just about everything you could imagine, from birds to plants to fish to whatever. It's a biologist in me. But then I've got homesteading and gardening and planting and I've got a lot of reference type books. But I'm weird though, because I used to hate having to read novels in school. It's like, I don't want to read a novel. I want to read a book on plant identification, or I want to read a book on, it's like trying to get them to let you do a book report on something that, something that was nonfiction. Was like trying to pull teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to end up with a village. We kind of have that coming.
I can't wait till we get my drone. Come on. Say we can get a drone. I really want a drone for my birthday. So everybody knows that's the end of March.
I can say you can get a drone.
Because I think you would see what we're talking about with our farmyard. It really is. It looks like a village.
You got to meet Gail.
Gail wants to be a mod. I can do that. Hang on. I got to go back.
Thank you very much for
yes, thank you.
Cliffside. Thank you.
How do I do that again?
Oh, and there you go.
What's that?
There's the hours.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put on Homestead Aquarius's longest playlist for to play overnight. We'll get it going for a couple days in a row. Get some hours. We've watched quite a few of them.
Well, we haven't gone back, but
yeah, okay. Gail says he's got a long playlist, so there we go.
Oh, perfect.
We have unlimited internet, so we'll just let her roll.
Excuse me.
I have a huge list of everything that I have done on there now. Yeah. Well, that's what we're still a long ways off from the 1,000 anyways, although it's creeping nicely, which is awesome. And we thank everybody for subscribing and being part of that. But that's the big concern, is the hours. And it's not, we're not too bad. Yeah. We're about halfway. So we still got a long ways to go.
This is going to be bad because I'm going to watch some of Homestead Aquarius's videos again on the aquaponics and stuff. And
I know, and then you're going to want to go.
I'm going to want to get fish again. I used to have aquarium fish, and if I could turn it into a little experiment. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
No. There's been, yeah. You know, the worst bit is he uses James. He uses James to be like, oh, because he wants to get fish. And Alex and I go into the grocery store and we come back out to the car. And James says, I think we should get some fish.
That was funny.
And it's like, you think we should get some fish, or Chris thinks we should get some fish? Because I don't want fish.
Nothing complicated, but yeah, it's not that I have a problem with novels. Like, I'm more interested to continually learn stuff, whatever it is. There's always more to learn. Just that slow assimilation or fast assimilation of knowledge. And then if you can't quite remember it all, you can at least I can remember where to go to find it. I know it's in this book and this page and this whatever, but I can usually remember a lot of it.
Oops.
Oh, it jumped ahead again.
Oh, it keeps jumping. I don't know what that's about, but I just was like, or Lori's got the unlimited data too, so she's got Robert playing, so that's good. Rusty Pepper on her first live tour night. Oh, we'll have to
check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to come into the.
Well, this is we were in Come On Homestead's chat or live before this, and that's the one thing. Like, everybody says it, but it's true. It's like the homesteading, gardening, whatever you want to call that bigger genre. It's a great community because everybody wants to see everybody else succeed and wants to share knowledge and which is pretty awesome if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it definitely is. Sorry, I'm messing around with this moderator business stuff. So I get distracted trying to figure out what I'm doing. I was just going to put up the Canada Proud and Outdoors link because there we are. I think that'll work. Now mine here is, can I post a link as Hickory Craft?
I think you can.
We'll see. I don't know if it works or not. Somebody will have to tell me if that came up as a link. I probably did. Sorry, and I should have actually wrote. That was the link for Canadian Proud Get Outdoors. We just recently subscribed to them, and they're a good channel. And I see his thing here about that tonight they hit their 100 subscriber mark. And I know there's only like 13 of us in here. But hey, if anybody wants to stop and check it out, definitely do so. Always happy to promote other Canadian content. But yes, it's amazing how everybody all helps everybody get there once you get that 1,000 milestone, which, yeah, I think it's coming at a good pace. I don't know. We're pleasantly surprised. I'm not sure. Yeah. I think so anyways. And
considering we just started to document what we were doing.
I'm like drops. Sorry, I just caught that for a second there. Yeah. That's me. That is me to the letter now. I do not, it's like, well, I'm pretty sure they made that into a movie. I'll just watch the movie because that's what I got time for. And the beautiful thing for me about a movie, I'm this way about a book too, but I watch it and I forget it. It's great.
Yeah, I don't do that.
It's a wonderful ability to be able, like, I can go back to a book that I've read 8 times and I couldn't tell you what happened in it until I get going. And then I go, oh yeah, I kind of remember that, but it's still an exciting read. And I'm the same about movies because I never remember them. And then I go back and watch it and I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember why I loved this movie. And it was so good then and it's still so good now.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, to be honest. Forget about it. And then,
but yeah, so Gail, definitely more than welcome to put up links. We are, like I say, there's only 12, 13 of us in here. It's not but for sure, if you've got anybody's, go for it. It's all promotion and everybody's got great channels in here. And yeah.
No, we think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, we like it too because you find people and you follow people and whatever, but then you go into lives and there's always like somebody new where it's like, oh, we've never seen that channel before, and you probably wouldn't have actually ever found them on your own. Yeah, I think that's the one part that's really quite interesting about it. Like when you get kind of into the network of people. Everybody has the ones that they've found for various reasons, and you're sharing them with others, and just kind of all builds from there.
Yeah, exactly. So it did work for me to put the links, so that's cool. Now I know I don't have to go to a different account to be able to put links. We always thought you had to be in a different account, so I was like, oh, well, that means I got to switch to something else to be able to do it. We just
learned something new.
We're learning, yay!
And and definitely the reminder, if you're new to a channel, make sure you watch something and leave a comment.
Yeah, so that your subscription sticks. I think now, I'm pretty sure now it used to only be 30 seconds or a minute you had to watch, but now I think it's more. But we never just go and hit the sub. We usually just right click on the link and open it in a new window. And then once the live's over, we go back and we watch a few things and comment and subscribe. So, and that seems to work pretty good. I mean, we've all kind of suffered through the ups and downs of when you're like, oh, I got a whole bunch. And then, oh, I lost a whole bunch. Every morning we wake up and go, did they stick? Did they stick? So far lately anyways, so maybe YouTube's coming up to a new purge of stuff, I don't know, but
who knows,
they like to control us. No. I don't mind. Yes, where are we here?
Oh, I'm getting behind again.
You're getting behind. I have a video. Really? That's kind of cool.
I think this is something I always say all the time. It's like, excuse me, you're basically meeting people from, like you say, all different walks of life, different.
Nice to see you. I'm totally going to butcher this. Ilnirum? Does that sound right?
Illinois.
Yeah.
We're not sure how to say it, but
Nirum. Illinois Nirum. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for subbing as well. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
But yeah, like that's the part I love is you're seeing what different people are doing like all over the world. And no, not everything is going to be applicable to what you're doing on your homestead or in your garden because people are in different climates and this, that, and whatever. But there's always little things where it's like, oh, I never thought of this, or that's a neat idea. Or, I like that.
I do too. And I really like the whole
constant learning. It's kind of like a never-ending reference book.
Well, and I just like that whole thing of I'm going to be really terrible. I can't even remember the channel that was having trouble, and everybody just pulled together to like help him yesterday. Anyway, but that's that kind of nice feeling of you almost have a sense of dependability. Like it sounds really silly to say, but I feel you can count on your YouTube community.
Well, it's also like tonight we were kind of both a little grumpy because of the whole sheep mishap. And then you kind of get on talking about it. And I don't know, sometimes when you're just the two of you, you get into like a little whatever. And then you get talking to other people, explaining it. And it's kind of like, oh, maybe it isn't so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can't do a tablet for typing. It's like on my phone. Oh, it drives me crazy. Trying to answer comments and things on my phone is, But yeah, I like a keyboard. For sure.
Oh yeah, I have to have a keyboard. I can type super fast on a keyboard, but I can type faster than I can think. Sometimes.
Thank you so much for putting up all the links there, Gail, because I know there's definitely some people. This is kind of nice because I know we have a few, Canadian channels in here and things like that may not have followed the Shed Wars stuff or other parts. So it's great for spreading everybody's info.
Well, everybody has a different group of people following them, so
I love that, and definitely anybody that I have made a moderator, do not ever feel you even need to ask about putting in links unless it's something that maybe is inappropriate. I should clarify, but I mean I love that when people do that. I do find it's something that you're trying to build a community, you're trying to help everybody out, you're trying to promote people, and we trust people to not put things in that they shouldn't.
Yes, because that could get them in trouble.
Yeah, that'll get you. I don't know. Can you put your moderators on a timeout? No.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I never know. Never knew about who's.
It's a plant.
Oh, okay.
We still have to watch a video about that. I saw it. We just haven't got around to it. Drops. That's the other unfortunate thing. We don't always get around to everybody, but we do try.
Yeah.
Just some days are more hectic than others, i.e., battling with sheep.
Yeah. Oh, our cats are making a bunch of noise.
We actually, I bought some red mulberry seeds. I have them in the fridge, so we'll see how that goes.
Stratifying.
We'll see how that goes because we're in an area that doesn't have the white mulberry. Well, we have one there, I guess, but maybe we'll cut it down.
Well, it doesn't have any berries.
It's a male, I'm pretty sure, but
it's produced a whole lot of shoots that the animals like to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get some to go too, because I don't know. There's just something about having the native ones kind of nice when possible. Kind of, I don't know. I was chatting with somebody a couple of weeks ago about this in terms of permaculture. It's always that fine balance between trying to just use native plants and still using some that are not native but naturalized or provides quite a bit of benefit, and then it's that extra balance of how weedy they are. Like, anyways, you can just kind of keep divulging into that topic, but I'm kind of in the middle. I think using plants that are going to escape widely maybe is not a good idea, but
that's because you deal with that all the time.
Well, yeah.
And your work.
But restricting yourself to just the natives, depending on your environment, it's not necessarily the.
I'm looking to. I want to comment to her next comment, but Shed Wars is going to be awesome, and Canadian Proud. You've missed being involved in this year's, but definitely follow it this year because next year you'll want to. And I think there's actually quite a few Canadians involved in it this year. There's quite a few of us. Between like Quebec, I don't know how many other Canadian channels you follow, but Quebec Homestead's in there. Well, I shouldn't say they haven't been drafted yet, but have put in entry videos. There was Quebec Homestead. Wild Edibles is also Canadian. Us, Chris Dixon. There's Getting Clean on the Prairies. What's the other? Lori's World's in there. There's quite a few anyways. I'm butchering it because I know there's more that are Canadian. Elizabeth's Adventures has put an entry video. Anyway, definitely follow some of it this year so that you have a good idea. It is not about whose shed is better. There we go.
It's about growing and teaching people how to grow.
Exactly. And going to Cliffside's one here, I think our single tree is going to want to stay a boy because he's only tree we have.
So far. But yeah, mulberries are intriguing. I read an interesting, as much as I want to get the red mulberries going, I did read something about because the genetic dilution. It was a scientific paper, but it was kind of like somewhat the ecological function and the genetic dilution because of the white mulberry and the hybrids and the ecological function being similar. And kind of irreversible now because the damage has kind of already been done. There is, for us here in Ontario, the red mulberry is endangered, like critically endangered. But it's probably, I hate to say it, it's probably past the point of
helping it.
Yeah, because of the establishment of the whites. But anyways, it's just another one of those interesting things. I love native plants and the use of them. I just I don't know. I like to look at all avenues of it, for lack of a better way to put it, because it's like half of the annual vegetables we grow aren't actually native, but then they produce so much. Like, yeah. I think when you get into perennials, the natives, in my mind, win out a little bit more because hold that thought.
He's got to go rescue a rabbit fur. One of the cats just stole it. One of my rabbit furs. The Shed Wars, Joe and Sue, definitely take a look at some of the videos for that this year. It is a great concept, a great idea, and it's growing like mad. So I imagine it was started by Will It Grow, who's in here, Homestead Aquarius, and Arkansas Woodcutter, who was in here earlier. And just a great compilation, is that the right word, of people in homesteads and city gardeners and just everything, just basically all teaching each other how to grow things and sharing ideas. And there's a little bit of a fun competition in there, and there's obviously a little bit of what do you call it? I'm not going to say bad talk, friendly banter. But it's definitely all in good fun and a friendly little competition that really helps everybody. Maybe I don't know if Will It Grow or Homestead Aquarius maybe has a video that we can. I'm not going to quickly go look, but there's probably a nice little video that sort of explains the concept of it better than I could quickly explain it right now. But Gail is also in Shed Wars, exactly.
And so is Cliffside.
And it's like Drops was saying about Mallory at Quebec Homestead and her potatoes. They will really bring. Maybe we should just take them off there. The cat is taking the fur again. Just take it in. Yeah, don't even put it back there. There you go. But yes, definitely take a look in it. And I believe drafting is the 10th and 11th of March. So then we all get to start in the Northern Hemisphere on the 23rd of March. But if you search it right now, you can watch the Southern Hemisphere is doing their competition right now. And there's some great channels that are involved in that. And it's kind of fun to watch some of the gladiator challenges and just see how everybody does things a little bit differently, which is really nice. I think anyway. We've gotten some good ideas anyway. So look out for this year's Shed Wars.
Yeah, and there's
oh yeah, Lori, yeah, there's the shedwars.com website. That also is up and running too now. So there's a lot of it out there. It's really growing like crazy. Those three guys have done amazing. And I know there was a lot of people also involved in helping that all become amazing too. So we're very excited about it anyway. So it's going to be really fun. And we're already planning out our video series for the whole summer of Shed Wars stuff. So
yeah, there's basically the
grow your own food again, teaching them how and having fun while doing it. Exactly. Excellent motto. Is that a motto? It's kind of a motto. Yeah. So anyways,
purpose. It's purpose.
The banter drives me crazy. I wish no one would banter. Yeah, right. John, you started all.
That's not 100% true.
Well, okay, maybe not. I know Jan gets in there and everybody but yeah.
I don't know. It's
it's fun. It's just a great community that is built up, and I'm not saying that you're not doing it for the support that comes from other channels, but it is one of those things where everybody just supports everybody, and it works fantastic. And
you learn a lot.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot, and it definitely keeps your evenings busy watching the videos.
It's better than TV.
It is better than TV. So what are we here?
I'm looking forward to.
Hi, Boots and Bounty. Sorry, I didn't see you come in until just now. You're right at the top of the thing. So
we're keeping up with the chat tonight. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. This is really good. So
for us.
But anyways, it's going to be good for growing season, and we're kind of planning everything out and what we can, do better this year, since we've never actually tracked how much we grow. That was, besides the fact of teaching people to, grow things and being part of the community, one of the other real big appeals to us was the challenge to actually track what you grow and weighing it, because we've never done that. So you don't have an accurate concept of just how much you grow and use and consume. I mean, we make all our own ketchup and barbecue sauce, and all our condiments really are homemade, with the tomatoes we grow and things like that. So, I mean, I know that I process hundreds of pounds of tomatoes a year, but it'd be interesting to actually track and see, what you're doing.
Well, and we were talking earlier about sort of the economic side of it, the non-fun part of homesteading and gardening and that sort of stuff. But I don't know. In today's climate, I think it's going to be really good to sort of have that concept of, wow, look at what we actually produce. Like, and not even putting into it the fact that, when you grow it yourself, there's so many good reasons for that. But I mean, to actually look at the values, it's like, oh, you grew X amount of tomatoes and that's got this much value. It's like, wow, that made a big difference. I think that's something people, I don't want to say take for granted, but I think they don't think about it as much as they maybe should. Not that that's the only reason to do it, but it's just to be aware of it.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. What was that? She's got.
There we go. There's the.
There's the Shed Wars website link. Good job. Thank you very much, Coside. Very appreciated. Well, I think we're kind of lagging on this side, so it might not be you. It may be whatever. But as I'm going back to Drops's one about the can jar. To be honest, I still put it in the regular jar, but we've saved ketchup bottles because for the longest time, the kids would not eat homemade ketchup.
But if you put it in,
if I put it in the ketchup bottle, they loved it.
Didn't matter.
So now they're old enough that they don't really care. Yeah. But it worked great because I had
2 years.
Yeah, because I make my ketchup in the 1 liter jars. So we just had a 1 liter French. I think it was French's.
I don't know.
I've still got it anyways with the little where you keep it upside down this lid and squirt it out. Might not be 1 liter. Maybe they're 500 mil. Anyways, I have a couple of them. So when I open a jar, I just put it into the 2 squirty bottles with a funnel, and that goes into the fridge, and it works great.
Yeah.
So.
For picky kids.
Yeah, for pickies. Hey, Silhouette, how are you doing? They're either really early or no, they're really early. It's got to be really early there.
I don't know. I can never keep track of it.
Yeah, it's morning anyways. I know it's morning.
I agree that aim of being self-sufficient, that's once you go down that rabbit hole, that's a very complex thing. Well, you can take it as far as you want.
We're very good. We think that we could attain self-sufficiency for a lot of things, but the one thing that we could not is our animals. We could not grow the food to feed our animals. And that's like when people talk about prepping, we don't prep for ourselves because we can grow everything we need other than toilet paper. But we stockpile animal feed because that's the prep that we would be in big trouble if we didn't have it. Yeah. So
we have that same problem with cats. Hence why I had to go and save our fur from the cats.
Yeah. Oh, I saw what Arkansas Woodcutter. That was another one. I watched his video yesterday or one of the days I was quilting, and the cats had knocked over his seed trays.
So, the fun of living with cats.
Yes, I'm dreading that's what it's lunchtime.
Lunchtime in Australia.
We've never weighed everything we grew, but we did start trying to weigh vegetables. Yeah, so that's kind of neat. And I saw that Will It Grow there said he did 888 pounds. That's awesome. Good. So I'm guessing like you make a lot of sauces and things like that, which is really good. I do a lot of tomato juice. We do lots of tomato juice. And tomatoes are a big one. And then obviously your potatoes and stuff.
I'm going to actually interrupt for a second. I don't think you're supposed to use the mullein. And the reason why is because of the hairs. Because the mullein, I've never tried it, but I can see it. The little hairs on the mullein break off. And if you use it as toilet paper,
I think it would probably not be very nice.
It may be a little bit on the irritating side.
We'll say plantain.
Plantain doesn't got no absorbency. But.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, not gonna work. We figured. My theory was if we ever ran out of toilet paper, I'm a quilter. I have so much fabric, we would just cut up fabric.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. Though.
No.
I guess that's the part of the thing with the self-sufficiency. You can take it to the extreme where you actually are like off grid, off everything, or you can take it, halfway there. That's still a substantial difference from being totally dependent. And I think that's an important piece. I think people forget is that what do you call it? It's like being in the middle ground, right? It's not an all or nothing. It's not to be self-sufficient, I got to be totally off grid and totally self-sufficient. It's anything you can do to be more self-sufficient is still worthwhile, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people forget that sometimes because, there's people on YouTube, there's people in other mainstream media and that's like, oh, they're off grid, they're this, and that's great, but not everybody can get there for a variety of reasons.
There's been some good ones. I don't know if you want to. Sorry. See that?
Take a cherry.
Yes, take it.
I have to look into that one. I don't think I've heard of that. Take a cherry.
Hmm.
Maybe it can't grow here.
Yeah. But, our cherries would not be considered native, but I'm excited for them all the same.
True. Well, but even our apples aren't native, right?
No.
Naturalized, but
okay, toilet paper for a reason. Fabulous intro. Oh, she's talking about on the website, the Shed Wars. Yeah. I think that's a great way to say it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
good idea there, Lori. Putting it on there. Good.
There you go. A bum quilt.
A bum quilt.
Oh, you could make one of those puff quilts.
Oh, make little puffs to. Oh, there you go. Oh, terrible. That's terrible.
It's funny.
Yes, it's not a good use of my lovely fabric. If we were ever in a crisis, my fabric is too valuable for that.
You're the one that said it.
I know. Gail, you're wanting to can your first tomatoes this year. It's addictive. Once you go down that line, watch out. Then you'll be getting a pressure canner, and you'll be doing everything.
Then you'll end up with.
You'll need a huge kitchen, lots of storage.
You don't need it. You just need the storage.
Yeah, well, the storage, all the pots and all
the jars.
Yeah.
But the nice part is, once you have the jars, you basically have them.
Yeah. Wow. Makes his day. What we cannot. Sorry, that's what I was going to look at in here.
I think that would be an awesome goal.
That's
for sure.
I'm going to go back to what I'd said. I think I said in our last live, but the goal for us is to eventually have the jar. I don't know who was the Canadian woman that used to do the money show. Anyways, it doesn't matter. She used to always be like, you lived out of a jar and you put your money into the jar and then you took out. Anyways, I want the money that comes in from the farm to go into the jar so that then that is the money that comes out for the feed and things like that. Unfortunately, there's just so many unforeseen things that get in the way that the jar never seems to build up. But if you've watched our year-end expenses video, you'll see that the jar did not balance.
No, and we still have one more to go.
Yeah, we've still got our big animal economics one, and it's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Thank you for coming in tonight, Canadian Proud.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
we've definitely kind of been all over the place, but that's all right.
That's how we kind of do things. We just keep chit-chatting and see what happens. So, but definitely looking forward to seeing you next time. We're doing Tuesday, 8:30 all the time. So we'll see you next week. What's the thread count on this cloth? Oh, gosh. It's rough.
Well, that's good. So you've already been canning, doing the pressure canning stuff. You know way more about it than I do, but the tomato stuff is easier.
The tomato stuff.
It's a little more forgiving.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah. Well, and you only need to, a lot of the tomato products, you just need to water bath can them instead of pressure canning, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. My tomato juice, I don't even water bath can it. I just put it into the jars and hot into the jars. But I mean, I've been doing it for 12 years that way and haven't killed anybody. Yeah. But that's just the way we've always done it. But it's very high acidic and that sort of thing. So
that being said, there are tomato varieties that are low acidic.
Yeah, your paste tomatoes, you need to make sure you're well, and my there's lemon juice in my tomato juice as well. So that
Yeah.
makes it. Anyways, I'm hoping to do a few, canning videos and some recipes and stuff as we go. I mean, we're just getting into YouTube in that season last year, so I didn't do a lot. We were kind of really focused on the farm stuff. So now now that we're established, we kind of are, branching out and kind of showing a little bit of everything. It's like we haven't shown the crafting side or even much with our fleece from the sheep yet. So we are hoping to, we're hoping to kind of feature a few more of those items as well. And I think the canning would be another good one.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find that as well. I mean, the canning ones, they're great videos. And
they're practical.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much for stopping into the park.
Good to see you.
I'm glad we made you laugh. That's a good effect to have on people, I suppose.
Yes. Now, Boots to Bounty, if your kids went to bed that easy, I am super impressed, because that would not have happened that quick for us.
No, they would have kept coming to check.
Yes, they would have. That's our problem. We have the kids live in a split family, so we only have them every second live. So like tonight, we don't have them, so we're not worried about them. But when we're having a live, when they're here, they don't want to go to bed because they're worried they're going to miss something from our live. So anyways.
What am I missing?
So every second week will be a little shorter live because the kids will stay up until we're done. Yeah.
That's all right.
But it's good. But look at that. I think we've actually been pretty good on here. We're almost coming up to the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. We may have to say good night too here shortly, because I've got to work in the morning. We've got to do stuff in the morning.
Yes.
But this has been good. It's fun chatting. We'll have to eventually invite people up to chat in the future. For anybody that's in here now too, I think we're gonna sort of stick to this as
8:30 on Saturday or
Tuesdays.
It's all a blur.
Don't confuse
I
everybody.
know. Well, I don't go anywhere because I don't have a job that I have to go to or keep track of days.
All the days are
just as a blur.
It's amazing that it's pretty much the end of February.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
But in some ways it's nice though, because that means one more month closer to actually gardening. There's a lot of stuff got to happen between then and now, but still.
Yeah. Well, we're better set up going into this spring than we were last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing, which means hopefully things will get in a little bit sooner than they did last year. Yeah. But drops ready for winter to be over. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. I know. Yeah. I can't remember the name, but
I have her book.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
It's in our reference library.
It's in our reference library, which is still in boxes because we haven't unpacked it all.
See, we've
been here almost a year and a half and haven't unpacked.
We should have just built the tiny. Library.
The outdoor library. Build the. Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be. It would be useful, I know, but we have big plans. Just kind of doesn't all happen as quickly as we'd like.
Never were planning a tiny library.
We weren't.
But,
no.
But yeah, I think on that note, it's pretty much 10:30. We're probably should say goodnight. Otherwise, we could just keep talking.
Yeah, we're bad for that.
We're bad for talking.
But thank you, everybody, for coming out. And
joining.
You're right. Now I remember. Her name is Gail. Thank you, Jules. Sorry, I just saw that when Gail said she missed that one, it dawned on me. Her name is Gail. She's got dark hair.
So it's probably her right there.
Yes, Bettina, that's probably her. She used to she would go and help people get out of debt and tell them to live in the jar. Oh, now we're all
metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, well, metaphorically, but yes. So that probably is her. Anyways, I used to love her show. I'd love to live by those principles for the farm. We're like 10 years out on that. It's 10 years of debt before we're even close to the jar.
See if we can reduce it to 5.
We'd like to reduce it to 5, but I'm not 100% sold on that. But anyways, everybody.
Yes, everybody have a good night, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
We'll be chatting to most of you, I think, over the rest of the week.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of you in other lives and such, and hopefully see you next week.
Yes.
Indiana gardeners, the canner's got to go into the garage. I need to figure out where my canning stuff goes because I have two water bath canners, then 4 huge pots for cooking in, and then the pressure canner.
We're going to build shelves downstairs.
Yeah, but anyways.
On that note, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and we will see you soon.